Consumer price inflation quickens to 6.3%, and Scopa says internal controls are a stumbling block in the management of public resources. I'm Nebo Changela with this news update. Statistics South Africa says that South Africa's targeted consumer price inflation quickened to 6.3% year-on-year in January from 6.1% in December. Analysts say that transport costs and education and goods and services contributed to the faster pace of CPI. Standard Bank's economic unit says that despite the rise in inflation, the country's interest rates outlook remains unchanged in light of this inflation data. Head of micro research at Standard Bank, Thabi Loka, says it was unexpected.
This was a surprise increase because we had expected 6.2 and consensus had expected 6.2 as well. And I think most people thought that it would be a gradual increase in inflation rather than quick increase to 6.3. But we still see that the main culprits, food and fuel prices, are undermining CPI. But we also see that housing and utilities transport has also picked up this month compared to the previous month.
Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts has admitted internal controls are one of the key challenges in the management of public resources. Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan delivers his budget speech in the National Assembly this afternoon. Scopa Chairperson Themba Godi says the critical question today is how money will be managed once Gordhan has allocated it to different departments. Godi says it's important for management to identify areas of risk.
The critical question is their effectiveness. I must say that there is indeed uneven development in terms of their functionality, in terms of how they function. And this gets to be reflected in the annual reports of departments or in the report of the Auditor General, because then it checks on the internal controls. And I must say that internal controls are one of the key challenges, and it is one of the key determinants of how public resources are managed.
Tune in to SABC2, SAFM and other PBS stations for the live broadcast of the 2012 budget speech by the Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan from 1:30. The SABC News website www.sabc.co.za/news will also provide special coverage of the budget with live streaming of Minister Gordhan's speech from 2 o'clock on the site and the SABC YouTube channel. Head of the Assets Forfeiture Unit, Vidi Hofmeyr, says while government has set its ambitious targets in fighting corruption at the highest level, much has already been done to fight the scourge at all levels. Speaking at the Institute of Internal Auditors Public Forum in Boksburg, Hofmeyr said the state has set itself the target of convincing people with illicit assets exceeding 5 million rand within the next 2 years. The conviction rate currently stands at 5 every 10 years. Hofmeyr says despite the difficulty in convicting these high-profile corruption cases, a lot of progress has been made on other levels.
We actually have made in the anti-corruption task team. We've made a lot of progress in those targets, and there are by far the most big cases that are being investigated at the moment than ever before. There are hundreds of convictions every year for corruption. It's not that there isn't that happening, but government wanted us to tackle some big, serious corruption cases or more big, serious corruption cases, and that was what the target sort of was about, basically.
And Molemo Jubjub Maharuanya's defense witness, taxi driver Benjamin Maseko, is sticking to his testimony that Maruhanya's co-accused Themba Chabalala was the one trying to overtake before the incident, which left 4 learners dead and 2 injured. They were killed and injured when the 2 men allegedly crashed into the group while drag racing. Maseko is being cross-examined by Chabalala's defense attorney on his second day on the stand. Yesterday, he said the 2 cars were not drag racing as alleged. Maruhanya and Chabalala are facing a range of charges, including murder. The trial continues in the Protea Magistrates Court in Soweto.